semi-completed another kindergarten classroom. I'm Marissa, and Debbie did it with Lauren Harness here at Mesa Public Schools at Pedro Guerrero Elementary School. So I'm just going to give you guys a little span here, and just a reminder that of course the classroom is not completely done. We've just laid out the foundational framework for Lauren, and she just has to complete putting the materials in, adding the embellishments and the details. But this classroom will hold 27 students, and there's plenty of seating space and interest areas. So I will let Debbie take it away.
All right. This was a very fun classroom to do because Lauren had a lot of the materials. She had quite a lot of shelving, which is opposite of what we usually find when we're in rooms. And also, Lauren's been doing this for a few years, so she had some areas already kind of started. So we just sort of built on the plan that she had started already. This is, as if you've been watching our videos, very typical that this is the art area, which is right by her sink, and it's on linoleum. The linoleum at this school is nice and wide, so the table fit on here really well. She has room for an easel. There is a drying tray. This was a clever thing that Lauren did, was attach these drying trays to a pegboard here, so they can be used both for things children have made at the table, as well if they're using smaller pieces of paper on the easel. She also is going to have a clear counter space where children can dry pictures at the easel there as well. This nice cart is going to be used for children to be able to choose what they want to use. There'll be a variety of brushes here. There will be, there may be some paper in there, or there could be collage items, whatever kinds of activities are going on for the easel at that point. Moving straight through her art area, she has a sensory table. We thought this would be good to have somewhat close to the sink as well. She has a bin underneath there so that children can store things in the bin rather than in the table itself, because if it's already in there, there's not a lot of room for them to work. As well as there is a shelf here for things that can be used in her sensory bin. We're not going to go through the science area right now, but the sensory table is tied to the science area, which seemed to make a lot of sense. But then we continue into what we're calling the creative arts area and the creative construction area. This is going to be a place where Lauren is going to put things like empty boxes and glue and paint, and children are able to just construct here and make things, glue boxes together after they've dried them, painted them, and then dried them. There may be masking tape here as well, so they can make all kinds of incredible structures. There will be loose parts here for things that they might add to their constructions as well. It then keeps on going into which will not have computers at. This is going to be the tinkering or take apart area. Also might be used for some woodworking. So it sort of extends, as you can see, from the art area into this construction area and then to here as well. These, she'll put some screwdrivers and tools, things like that. Also maybe a toaster or a flashlight or things that children can take apart. These parts can then go into this area and be used for some of the creative uses that children come up with reconstructing. This area then moves into her manipulative area, math and manipulatives, which there is shelving specifically for that. There will be some puzzles. Lauren is going to take the books off of here, and children will have access to materials that are on here. You can see some samples of things, some Legos. Also, kind of flipping around, at least if you're able to come around this way, there's a small little nook with a magnetic filing cabinet, and so the children here are going to be able to make magnetic marble runs or do other things with magnets here as well, which I think will be lots of a fun way to do that. Another idea was at some places to put the Lego plate somewhere flat so that children can actually build out on the Lego boards as well, which will be just add to the making it kind of a different experience for them to have. This area is then also extends into her block and building area. She has a fairly nice set of blocks, wooden blocks. One of the problems that Lauren ran into in the past was children being able to put blocks away. So we've added a second shelf so that it is easier to distinguish which block goes into which area. She'll have a parking lot up on top so that it's easy to see which cars are here and if any cars need to be found. This was a shelf that we weren't quite sure what to do with because we had sufficient shelving in most of the areas, in all the areas. And so Lauren had the idea of letting children put work here. So if they're making a Lego construction, they can always come and put it in one of the shelves, which I think is a terrific idea, as well as there is other kinds of additions to the block area that they can use. There's a basket here which will have tubes and ramps and things that will add to the block building that children are doing. Next to the block area is a dramatic play area. And because this room is a lovely size, and so Lauren actually has a two-part dramatic play area. This is the kitchen, the more traditional things, her stove, her sink. She has this great wardrobe hanger for putting clothes. She's going to add some shoes, things like that. Here is the table for sitting at, a suggestion of a window out here, a place to put dishes and things like that, so the children will be able to do a lot of those activities in here. But then right next to it, that idea of what about things you do in the other parts of your house. So here she has a living room, study area where there's a couch and some comfortable places to sit. Will be some books. There's a desk here for some office work. Even has what first we thought might be a bassinet for the babies, but Lauren said it kind of looks like a changing table. So there's babies in a basket underneath here, but there'll be something that they'll be able to do with the babies up there. We also thought they might want to read books to them and things. And then because this is the sociodramatic area, Lauren is thinking about doing a friends and family board here, which will be pictures of the children who are in her class with significant people in their families as well. That moves into, we're now sort of starting this literacy area, the large group area, which is this big, nice rug here. At this time, Lauren does use the smart board, and so she does need to project directly on that. Eventually, it's going to be attached to the ceiling, which will open up some of this shelf space here as well. She has many of the tools of literacy. There's a whiteboard. There's her word wall is here. She was aware that a lot of these parts of it were a little bit high, so there's a stepping stool. There's pointers so children can walk around and read the room with this as well. The word wall, or the large group area, also backs up to this great bookshelf for large books. So if children want to plop down in the middle of the rug in order to be able to read these books or read them with other children, there's sufficient space to do that. We then come into more of a reading area, but also as a part attached to the large group area is a safe spot. Lauren has some sheer netting which she's going to attach down here, maybe only have it come some of the way down, add some soft pillows. Up here on top there may be some sensory bottles or squishy toys, books about emotions, things just to help people to work towards some self-regulation. In a private way down there. Next to that is a little book nook, which Lauren had some just comfy things and little chairs to sit on, pillows. She had these sweet little lights, little lamps, which add just a nice kind of lighting to the area as well. Books will be there. She has some stuffed animals for the children to read to. And again, another bookshelf. This bookshelf is nice because the cover faces out, so it's easy for children to see and identify which book that they would like to use. On the opposite side of the bookshelf is a little listening area. And so not only is there the earphones and a way to listen to the stories, she has a CD player there, but also some journals and some crayons so children can review the books that they've read and make some record of what they heard in the stories there. This reading area connects with a writing area. There's a couple different levels for writing on. There's this lower table here. There's a small desk for two. In the shelving that she has here, there's going to be paper, materials. There's going to be cards, envelopes, a lot of the tools for writing across here, tape, staplers. Lauren will probably add some hole punches, brads, things like that children can use in order to make things. Before I was saying that the sensory table sort of joined in with the science area. This is the rest of the science area here. She's going to look for a lazy Susan to put here in the middle, so if things are on here, they can be spun around and children can look at them from many different levels. She has great shelving in order to add a lot of the tools, magnifying glasses, tongs, things like that. Also collections, things for children to look at, to compare and analyze. Great shelving again. She has tools of literacy throughout the room. There's books, journals, crayons, markers, pencils throughout. And again, it's one of those things where it's great because they can be used in the art area, they can be used in the writing area, science, math, wherever you are in the classroom. So this has been a really delightful classroom to do. I think it's going to be exciting. Children start here in about 2 weeks. Lauren, is that right? Lauren, do you have any thoughts or comments?
I'm just excited for when the kids come and see them in action and all the experiences they'll get to have now, all these different areas.
One of the things that we talked about is often it's when the children are often in here that you see how well things are working and if there needs to be some minor adjustments and just how well and how people fit in all the different places.
All right. Thank you guys.